Welcome to the 5-Minute Quickie, and it's all about anxiety. Well, it is Anxiety to Confidence podcast, the Personal Development Unplugged podcast. And in this 5-Minute Quickie, we're going to muse and just think and get some thoughts that we can either take into a longer podcast, because we do like the longer podcasts, or just the short ones, just to get our minds and our unconscious minds thinking of ways that we can improve our life. And the other day I used AI a little bit. And I asked the question, what are the symptoms of anxiety? Because a lot of people ask that. And it came out as being trouble concentrating. Okay. And it also came out as trouble sleeping. Okay. Maybe nauseating. Nausea. And sweating and shaking. Now I get some of that. But that's really weird, isn't it? They're weird symptoms. I mean, you could put those symptoms down to quite a lot of other things as well, couldn't you? And then it came out as, well, maybe anxiety is anticipating a future threat. I thought that's a pretty good one, because fear is obviously, there's a threat right here and we're frightened. Something's going to happen. But anxiety seems to be worrying about things that are going to happen. Sometimes you get fear, and sometimes it's like taking the past and what happens if it happens in the future. But the thing is, what does it matter? What does it matter what the symptoms are? Because if you know the symptoms, and okay, let's start working on sleep, and I get a really good night's sleep, but does that solve my anxiety? Don't think so, does it? What happens if I take some, mushroom coffee and get really focused? Will that take away my anxiety? Well, they might help a little bit. But if you don't deal with the cause, you don't get rid of the symptoms, because the symptoms are, in effect, the effect. And the old metaphor is, you can keep taking the leaves off a weed and it'll keep growing more weeds. So like with anxiety, you deal with a little bit of it and something else comes up somewhere else. And then you do another one and the other one comes back again. Bloody hell. But if we deal with the root, take out the root cause, leaves can't happen, can they? And that's the old metaphor. But it works, and it's a philosophy that I use with my clients. Deal with the root cause, and the effects have to disappear. They do. So maybe a better question is, what is the cause of my anxiety? Or what am I bloody worrying about? What am I anxious about? And what is the cause within that context? So is it, I'm worried about making a complete, I nearly swore, fool of myself? Is it a problem of getting guilty? Is it a problem of not being able to communicate? Is it a problem of, I don't feel worthy, I don't feel good enough? And that's a belief. So, okay, we maybe have the root cause as being a belief, and there'll be an emotion around that as well. But deal with that one thing, the one thing that is causing you to be anxious. How do you do that? Ask these questions. Think about ways that, or things that are affecting you, and what is it trying to do? What is it trying to do for you? What is it trying to protect you from? And then think of better ways. Now you come to the longer podcast. Loads of stuff here at Anxiety to Confidence, the Personal Development Unplugged podcast. We dive deep into all these different ways of being anxious and different ways of solving them. And they're simple, because in simplicity there's genius. We look for small steps, simple steps, breaking down the complicated. There's far too much complication in some of the processes people put forward nowadays. Just look for simple ways. We do that. We do it with hypnosis. Get your unconscious mind to learn. Learn what it's trying to do. Learn that it's not really working, and learn what it can do from the very root cause. Because when it's got that, you don't need the emotion, because you'll have got what you've learned. it's not too... Well, it's pretty simple, really, when you break it down into those simple steps and the simple causes. Because that's all it is, they are simple causes. And then we look to learn from those causes and how we want to be. How would I rather be? And if I think of ways how I'd rather be, then I can say to myself, well, would I be safer? Would I be more comfortable? Well, the answer is, I'm going to say that a bit more clearly because I got excited. The answer is most obviously 100% yes, because you've come up with a better way. And we work through it. Maybe you write it down, really just getting it out on paper, getting it out of that bloody head of ours. So we can really see and go, now I understand what I'm anxious about. And you ask the question, what can I do about it? How can I be different? What can I do that will allow this anxiety to disappear? And generally things like preparation, getting into the right state, learning from the past, learning to do things differently. If you have any questions on this, I'm sure you have, I have, do email me, feedback@personaldevelopmentunplugged.com, because that's where you email me, and I then go and think about it, get my old brain in gear and come up with processes, come up with longer podcasts that dive deep into your issues to find out how we can just let that anxiety go, become more competent and confident, and live the life that you deserve. So come on, my friend, you email me, give me some things that you're anxious about, even fearful of, and we'll come up with something, okay? I'm going to look forward to that. I'm the only bugger here. Don't worry about it, and you'll get a personal reply from me, okay? Have fun, get ready to fly, press subscribe and all that thing, and share this as well so other people who, if they're anxious, can do the same thing as you. Email me, okay? See you soon. Go fly.
Warning, you are now leaving the unplugged mind of Paul Clough. It's time to fly on your own. Be brave, my friend.
Personal Development Unplugged.